When we communicate our own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs in a non-defensive way, I think that it actually really changes how we use our authority. And one example of this is a story that I absolutely love about a little boy named Daniel who was about 5 years old. And his parents had gotten separated. They weren't divorced yet, but they were separated. And the father came from a family that didn't think that boys should cry, and the mom was worried that Daniel was really stuffing his feelings and was in a lot of pain about his dad not being at the house anymore, and was not knowing what to do with it, beginning to act out in other ways. And so one day I was at the house and Daniel climbed up on my lap and we were talking, and all of a sudden he looked at me, kind of leaned back and he looked at me and he said, "Sharon, are you a crybaby?" And one of the things I know is that often at a moment like that, many adults would take it as an opportunity to reassure Daniel and say, well, you know, it's okay to cry, especially if they knew that the mother was concerned that he wasn't expressing his feelings. But there's two problems with that. And the first problem is that if I had tried to reassure him or tell him it was okay to cry, then I would be taking sides in something that was a loyalty conflict probably for Daniel between his mom and his dad. And the second reason, which I think is equally important, is did Daniel ask me if I thought it was okay to cry? No, he didn't. And so if I had spoken to him from that kind of, I'm up here, I can give you a lesson now, this is my opportunity to tell you, give you some advice, then I'm speaking from being in some way superior to him. And I believe when we communicate non-defensively and we make our own statements, that we will have a whole different kind of authority and a whole different kind of power if we actually do not move into that helping or superior or advising position. And so what I did instead was I just answered his question, and I said, I do cry, and I don't think of myself as a crybaby. And he did that thing again where he kind of pulled his head way back and he just looked at me for a minute. And then he said, do you mean that when there's tears inside, they need to come out? When I just answered his question, he was able to find his own answer.